There's many ways to weld a helmet, put together a helmet. You can glue it, you can weld it multiple ways. Today I'm going to be doing welding. We use 3D printer pen, and we use a solder iron. I'm going to seam the jaw and the main helmet together. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to fix this little hole that happened when I was printing it. So, a little flawed. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, after you got it taped down, you want to take your soldering iron and you want to just, well, right now I'm using a flat tip soldering iron. My soldering iron, you can use different tips on it and whatnot. I'll post a link in the description where I got it from. With it, you kind of want to do, just kind of cut into it, but slice into it, into both halves. And you want to just smooth out and push over some of the filament, kind of fill in the spots a little bit with the same material. Kind of want to do that all the way down. Over to the other side too. Keep doing along the seam there. Just kind of slice into it a little bit, but don't go too far. You don't want to punch her all the way through. Depends how much infill you have on it. You don't need any other extra filament to fill in. So I'm just trying to adjust, make sure it's all even on both sides. Make sure that both halves are flush. Just going back, go all the way down the seam, and smoothing it out as I go. Right now, I'm taking the other side of the tape off so I get down below there. Push center, not too hard. Kind of gash it a little bit. But kind of want to seems like you want to blend the two halves together. Then, yeah, smooth. Kind of like, almost like painting the filament on top of each other. Just kind of go on, just trying to melt a little bit of it. Use the same flat tip soldering iron, just going and smooth the edges, get rid of some of the rafts points or the support material or little hairs. Right now I'm on the other side of the cheek, doing the same thing, going along the seam. Try to connect them, weld them together. Welding, smoothing out little rough areas on the edges. You also go take that and just smooth around the edges if you don't want it to be sharp. You kind of want to do it like around, or kind of touch your skin, or when you try to put it on, like, especially when you try to put it on, you get cut your ears. You can just kind of smooth out a little bit. It might help a little bit, but not guaranteed fully smooth. And here we go. It's both of them. The tape's off and they're bonded together and welded together. Now I'm coming back in with some extra PLA filament. Kind of melt that and fill in the holes and add more strength to the helmet. Kind of push it down in there and cut it off, then smooth it out. Same with every spot, every holes, and if there's any cracks. Keep doing it all through that seam, filling the holes, and should be strong. Flip on the other side, other cheek. Doing the same thing. Adding the filament in there, and melting it and welding it. I could do the same thing with the 3D print pen. Just fill it in. It's like with this, you just fill in the gaps, just fill in the holes. If there's any. I'm just checking, make sure it's not moving. Now we're moving on to the top of the helmet. Right there's a little hole, a little flaw in there. When I was printing it, was I was printing it upside down. So take some tape. I use painter's tape. You use any kind of tape. So he doesn't want the filament to go through. So I'm using my 3D pen, just filling in. There's some support material in there. I just go around in circles, fill it in. If you have a hole, the tape there is helpful to support the filament so it doesn't seep, droop down. So I was going around in a circle. Let that cool. And after that, you can add some body filler, Bondo, wood filler, spot putty, filling out spots. Probably go with body filler, since it might be this like porous, and like there's probably some gaps, whatnot. Right now, I'm taking back my soldering gun. It's going around the edges, smoothing them down, getting rid of some of the support material that was left behind. I couldn't get off, and you can probably sand it down, but this kind of helps smooth it. This right here, I'm smoothing the bottom. This is where it was on the build plate. It kind of gives like a little, it's like stair steps. So I'm just going around smoothing that area out. And going and smoothing inside the cheeks there. It's like it's a little rough. And going around, just hitting all the areas where it's kind of like the hairs and all that. And here we are, the final helmets after it's been deburred and all that. Alright, this concludes our welding of this Iron Man helmets. So we did a little patch job. Weld two parts together, and kind of weld it outside a little bit, smooth it out. We smooth some of the edges around here. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Hit that bell notification. So see you next time.